Great. Well, first I'd like to welcome everybody. We're really glad all of you are here at Hopkins and look forward to watching your careers develop. I am the Deputy Director of the Institute of Basic Biomedical Sciences, which covers the 8 basic science departments here at the medical school. But what I'm going to tell you in the next couple of minutes really applies to basic research across all the clinical departments as well as the basic science departments here at Hopkins. Just to underscore what you all, I hope, know, we have really outstanding faculty, both in basic and clinical science departments, and I really can't underscore enough the collaborative nature of research here. Given current and evolving NIH priorities, it is really critical that those in the basic sciences seek out those in clinical departments for collaborations and vice versa. There really is an unmatched ability here for cross-clinical basic research collaborations. And I'll describe briefly the last point, some of the cores we have here for the cutting-edge research technology. However, one point I really want to make, which I think is absolutely critical at the start of your careers, is grant pre-review. Now, this may sound sort of in the weeds a little bit, but you'll all be applying for NIH grants, and we're doing this obviously in a somewhat different environment than we have over the past several years. For IBBS departments, there's a pre-grant review service that's been run by Debbie Andrew for several years. And the website is listed up there. I want to emphasize that Debbie has looked at the metrics of this, and there's almost a twofold increase in funding for those who have actually taken their grants through these pre-review mechanisms. Now, of course, many, if not all, of the clinical departments here have very similar pre-review sorts of mechanisms, and I cannot urge you enough to take advantage of these. Quite often for early career faculty, there's a reluctance to bother senior faculty or mid-level career faculty. And all I can say is don't worry about this. Ask them to review your grants, and you can pay it forward in 5 or 6 years when you're helping new junior faculty in these same areas. Again, senior faculty can help you, but it's also very important to inquire of mid-level career faculty and also early career faculty who have just received funding to get the most information about current issues. There are also JHU funding opportunities that will pop up that you'll see. These include the Catalyst Awards and the Discovery Awards. They're centered at JHU over at Homewood, but they apply across the whole university. These are great sources for actually significant amounts of funding, both for the Catalyst Awards, which are focused on early career, but also to the Discovery Awards, which are cross-divisional and would allow you to collaborate with a senior person in a different department, in a different school, to initiate particular projects. Also, keep your eyes open for announcements of so-called core coins and IBBS funds. These are smaller grants, but they are offered usually a couple of times a year in order to provide funding to utilize the cores that we have here at Hopkins. For example, to make a mouse, for a single-cell RNA sequencing project, etc. These funds are really quite useful, particularly at the start of your career. And again, inquire with your department directors, vice chair for research, graduate program directors, etc. for these smaller awards that pop up during the course of the year. Of course, as mentioned, we have a number of available core resources. The IBBS cores, which I emphasize are available to all School of Medicine labs that are doing research regardless of department, include a transgenic core, single-cell core, transcriptomic core, etc. I would point out that these cores are extremely useful not only for the particular technologies they offer, but also for the ability to consult with people during the course of projects and troubleshoot as they go along. Sometimes this can be a real advantage as opposed to purchasing these same services outside of Hopkins. The GCRF, Genetic Resources Core Facility, again, has additional types of services to those which I've listed for IBBS, and again, their website is listed here. You've heard about the ICTR from Mark, and the final link here is for the JHU so-called Core in a Box website. This actually provides a comprehensive list of the many, many cores here at Hopkins. In addition to the IBBS cores and the ones I've mentioned, there are actually several imaging cores and other specialty cores in many different departments. These are all listed here and really this is a really good resource for trying to find maybe that special proteomics or a certain imaging technology that you need to have access to. So I'll stop there. I've listed here some of us who can be really helpful with respect to any issues that come up in terms of basic research, be you in the IBBS departments or in clinical departments. This includes Anthony Rosen, our Vice Dean of Research, Sean Frankowicz, who's the School of Medicine Assistant Dean for Resources, has a lot of information about all cores. James Berger, who's the Vice Dean for Basic Research, as well as the Director of IBBS, who I work closely with. I'm always available to talk about any issues relating to basic research. And I put Debbie Andrews' name down with respect to the grant review mechanism, which is present for IBBS. But again, I urge you to talk to your chair and to find out what sort of grant pre-review opportunities are available in your department, in addition to just looking at senior and mid-level faculty and getting them to read your grants. So again, thank you very much for your attention.